Can anyone tell me what modification is most common in CrossFit when pull-ups are programmed, but you don't have pull-ups? Ring rows. Why is that not the greatest option?
Because it's a horizontal pull.
Exactly. It's a different mode of pulling. The ring row is here, and it works this shape, whereas the pull-up is here, and it works this shape. Okay, you can ring row your heart out all day long, every single week, but it's never going to progress you towards getting the pull-up. What's up everybody, Doc Kaden here with another episode of Excellence in Motion. The team at NRG Physio and myself last week went to a CrossFit gym to talk about the overhead athlete. In a few minutes, you're gonna see Dr. Chad talk about how you can spot these movement faults in yourself. Doc Cara is gonna go through some maintenance exercises that are gonna allow you to strengthen different body parts and keep yourself in really good positions for exercise. And I'm gonna talk about how you can scale down some common movements in a way that's gonna allow you to maintain the same shape and improve that stuff over time. If you enjoy videos like these, please consider liking and subscribing, hit that bell for notifications, and until next time, go out, do good things, and don't forget to move. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
She's got a left elbow bend. He's gone wide, internally rotated, and elbows bent. Same thing across the room here. And this is, but this is an easy indication that you're missing overhead range of motion. You can put your arms down. If your arms just don't flop right to the floor, you've got a restriction somewhere. Now, in the case of the shoulder, it could be T-spine. You could be a little stuck here. Compliments of your ergo desk chair, right? It could be anterior fascia, which is just broad spectrum tissue that can get short and just kind of pin you down. It could be joint capsule. It could be muscle stiffness in the shoulder girdle, not allowing the blade itself to move around the rib cage. It could even be your pelvis, surprise. A lot of things that can play into the shoulder, but if we can give you some systematic ways to figure out what it is, improve it, then we can start to make big changes in short amounts of time. So we're gonna repeat that test just so you can see. Everybody lay down on the floor. And we're gonna go feet together, arms up towards the ceiling. Yep, hands shoulder width apart. Good. Squeeze your butt. Point your toes. Tighten your abs, okay? And now slowly lower your arms back until they're just hanging. They're just kind of hanging there. Yeah, so missing some space there. You want to be super here, but your abs have completely let go. Now they're not touching the floor there. Bingo. This chick's pretty nice. She's got pretty decent mobility here. So you can see there, as soon as you put the correct tension through the rest of your body, it adds a lot of stuff that shouldn't be in the shoulder. And that's just an easy way to check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, you can stand up.
Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into half kneeling position, squeeze your glutes super hard, ribs down, press straight overhead. The higher you go, typically the more abdominal contraction you'll feel, and right back down, okay? Let's go ahead and try it.
All right.
Actually, let's have you try it and watch you.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, which way did you go?
So just start in your pressing position, down on your knees. Squeeze glutes super hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be challenged with.
Yeah, I know. Ribs down. Come into your pressing position.
Okay.
Press straight overhead. Ribs down, ribs down, ribs down, ribs down. How's that feel? You lost a little bit there.
Uncomfortable.
Really uncomfortable, right? Good, good, good. Do a few more.
We love to make people
Squeeze
I
hard.
don't know how to do both.
We know, we know.
Hold on, so I'm squeezing
Squeeze
the butt,
hard. Squeeze here.
and then pulling the...
Ribs down. Yep,
Right.
still in your normal pressing position. Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks. You're done. You're out. You got it over with.
I'm good at that.
So with shoulder or going overhead, thoracic spine, super, super important. If we can't extend, our shoulder blades can't move out of the way, our shoulder joint can't get into the in range of motion, okay? So that's why this is so incredibly important. What we're gonna do, will you grab either a PVC or a lightweight barbell? Then I'm gonna have you sit on the floor, legs extended straight out, and then pull that bar up into your pressing position. We're gonna do a Z press. So, you wanna stay nice and straight through here. Press that barbell straight overhead. Ooh, not bad. Good, how's that feel?
Feels all right.
Press your wrist straight up. Pull straight down. Good. And press straight overhead again. Good, that was way better. Do you feel that? How that was different?
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and come down. That was actually pretty good. That was better than I was anticipating. But you can go ahead and drop the barbell. There's a few different ways you can play with this. If that is too challenging, we can also pull some dumbbells. If we come into that neutral position, sometimes that's a lot easier for people. If that's still too much, we'll go to half kneeling and do one at a time. That's another really good way to kind of work into that thoracic extension. Okay. If you want to grab barbells, try it out, and then if we need to scale down, we'll do that as well. Yes, so we're working on extending through here. Yep. A lot of us are really, you're probably one of them, locked down here. Yeah, and a lot of times we get to this place where we can't even extend through here, stiff right here. But we can't even extend through there. So, and if you can't do that, then you have lots of compensation, or just we'll end up in that more anterior plane.
Rule number 1, don't smash your cranium.
Yeah, that too.
I don't like holding the dumbbell like this.
Yeah, no one does.
Why do we do kettlebell?
It's a stability component.
She calls me out on everything.
Hey, here's a big thing that you can incorporate immediately. The harder you squeeze the barbell, the dumbbell, the kettlebell, the more your rotator cuff engages and creates more stability, more power, more contraction. And that's a big reason why we do this.
That's way better.
It's an unstable force on the top that forces you to squeeze, which forces your rotator cuff to engage at a higher rate.
So we've done mobility, we've done Therex. What are some modifications that we can make to overhead movements that will allow us to maintain the same shape and position and progress towards doing that movement without getting outside of what that looks like? So I'm gonna talk about 2 overhead positions that are pretty common. And if we have time, maybe do one that's kind of in this press shape. So, can anyone tell me what modification is most common in CrossFit when pull-ups are programmed, but you don't have pull-ups? Ring rows. Why is that not the greatest option?
Because it's a horizontal pull.
Exactly. It's a different mode of pulling. The ring row is here, and it works this shape, whereas the pull-up is here, and it works this shape. Okay, you can ring row your heart out all day long, every single week, but it's never gonna progress you towards getting the pull-up. If pull-ups are your goal, ring rows are not gonna get you there. So what kind of modification can we make at base level if you don't have pull-ups in order to still get in that shape in a workout? So what we can do that. That still gets us a little bit horizontal if we're pulling this way on a bar. So what we can do is take a band like this. Do we have PVC pipes in here? Yes. Someone go grab me one of those. As you go to create resistance, we can get down into our long sit shape and do a lat pull down. Okay, now, I'm a big ass dude, I got long arms, so this is not the right bar height for me. I would probably go to a much higher bar so I get more resistance out of the band. But here we can work on a thoracic piece that we just did with the barbell press. Maintain good core stability, keep the thoracic spine extended, and then work on our pull. Okay, and from there, as your skill improves, we can start moving into hopping into the bands and doing banded pull-ups. And that's another topic for another day if we want to really get specific on what those shapes look like. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys grab some PVC pipes of your own and load up some bands on the rig and give a couple of those lat pull downs a shot. Using a band resistance that's going to allow you to maintain the high volume, so like a lighter band, not a heavier one that's going to work on more strength, keep you in the endurance category, is going to be a better option. So you can always adjust with 1, 2, 3 bands, whatever you need, whatever your strength capacity is. But this is a good workout modification. I would still encourage you to get in the gym outside of classes and sort of work on this kind of stuff with a band, get yourself inside of a band, do pull-ups with like 2 or 3 of the thicker ones, and then work on that up here on the stable bar instead of on a PVC pipe.
Extension to maintain center of mass. You have to fold the torso forward to maintain depth, and then you have to internally rotate so you can get the arms further behind you so the weight doesn't go whoop, and you fall forward and face plant. So let's see what it looks like to back her into the correct position and see how depth changes. So go ahead overhead. Yep. Elbow pits to the sky, press up through that bar, squeeze your butt, tighten your abs. Oh, there we go. Now squat, and don't let this change position. Don't worry about what this is doing. You're not gonna hurt yourself with that PVC pipe. Better with just a little cueing, much better with just a little cueing. How does that feel?
It's really uncomfortable.
Everything's uncomfortable. We like it. But those are still things that apply. Now, we're adding in a lot more complexity of movement here. But overhead, external rotation, rib cage down, staying in neutral spine, which is the only thing that really matters if we're getting right down to it. This guy is going to dislocate anteriorly. we can bet. Go ahead again. Go ahead again. So you can see his elbow pits are pointing sideways. Go ahead and squat. More sideways, right? Lots of spine extension. Depth is good. Ankles look like they're moving okay, but these pits need to be forwards. Nah, don't worry about this guy. Okay. Roll these this way. Oh, bingo. Right, this is a strong position. What we find is that most people who are squat snatching or overhead squatting are allowing the bar to just sit down in their shoulder sockets instead of being active and pressing up through the bar as they squat down. Olympic lifts, right? Yeah. That's why Olympic lifting is its own sport. Yeah. And that's why powerlifting is its own sport. And that's why CrossFit has lots of things that get bypassed because like there are things built into a volume-based system that are designed to be done in ones. And so position and technique needs to be flawless, more so for you than the guy snatching 250 kilos, right? And so thinking about that, if you look at great training programs for Olympic lifting, you're gonna see them programming catching in different positions, right? They don't always catch high or low. They catch in the mid ranges. What you need to figure out is, okay, I can overhead squat with great position to here. Next time you snatch, you need to snatch and catch right there. Okay, you don't need to squat snatch if your bottom position looks like this, okay? You need to be focused on, can I press up through the bar, maintain great position in the shoulder? Can I keep my spine flat? Because what we don't want is disc problems, nerve root problems, because you're loading a spine and doing a lot of flexion extension under load. And so we just got to figure out what are your boundaries for movement and then work in those boundaries while we change the boundary, right? A lot of people, when we start coaching this stuff on movement, as soon as you can start getting people into a little better spine position, it unlocks a lot of freedom in a lot of areas. And so we hear that a lot. It's like, yeah, this is a small change. Like, oh yeah, that feels much better, much different. Less stress in the body. And as long as you stay kind of cognizant of what movement should look and feel like, then you can really start to dissect, hey, what should I be doing in the gym? How far should I go? Where's my breaking point? And that's really for us, from a clinical perspective. Yeah, we help people get out of pain. But our real separation from other places is that we understand these movements to a much higher degree because we live in the space. We do the same movements you're doing, and it's understanding what your movement looks like compared to the standard. And so not only can we help you figure out how to get your body in a better position to pursue the standard, but when you know what movement should look like and what movement should feel like, now you have lots of injury prevention built in, because if it doesn't look right, you know you need to either do some mobility work or scale. If it doesn't feel right, is that the first one I said? Did I already say feel right? If it doesn't look or feel right, you know you need to do some work or scale the movement for the day. And that builds in a lot of injury prevention into a space where injury, I mean, everybody knows the stigma's there. But it's not because the movements are bad, it's because people are not moving as well as they should be, and they're moving beyond their physical boundaries and creating lots of stress inside the anatomy.